What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video by the Fantasy Fanatics. I am Nathan. I'm here with Spencer. We have your Week 7 RB rankings for you. We're going to go one by one and rank them either RB1, RB2, flex S bench. This is the top 30, correct?
Yes, it is 30.
Yeah, we're going to be missing a few notable names on the list because of bye week, but we will persevere. We're going to start out with Ramondre Stevenson, who has looked like an absolute animal. I'm going to put him at the very top of RB2. He looked very good. Still some question marks about whether or not Damien Harris plays. I'm still not convinced about Zap. He comes in at our RB11. They play at home against Chicago. Great matchup. I expect another big week for him.
Yep, and DeAndre Swift should be back this week. He does face Dallas, which is a tougher matchup. But when DeAndre Swift got hurt, he was looking like the RB1. He looked really good. I really hope Jamal Williams doesn't steal his touchdowns this time. I think more touchdowns should be coming in the future. But DeAndre Swift is so good. Only thing I'm worried about is maybe he might be limited, but coming off a bye week, there's a chance he won't be. But he is our RB10.
Austin Eckler in competition for the RB1 spot on the season. He has been really good as of late. Got a great matchup against Seattle. He is our RB3 this week. They got Seattle at home. Seattle's giving up a ton of points. It wouldn't surprise me if Eckler puts up 2 tuds this week.
And coming in at our RB24, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He faces San Francisco, which is a tougher matchup. He has not looked good the past 2 weeks. I mean, he is, like we said earlier, he is touchdown dependent. He is one of those running backs who are not going to get you 100 yards, not going to even get you 80 yards. But flex/bench here, I'm going to explain it real quick. This is something different than we did. You can either be upper tier flex, lower tier flex, upper tier, or not upper tier bench, lower tier bench, just bench, low tier flex, upper tier flex. And Clyde is a lower tier flex for me.
Gotcha. Nick Chubb came back down to earth a little bit this past week, but you still got to play him. He's an animal. He finds our RB1 tier, slots in just above DeAndre Swift there. He's getting absolute fed. They've got a decent matchup at Baltimore. And, division game, they're going to want to pound the rock. Nick Chubb's going to get absolutely fed this week.
Yep. Alvin Kamara comes in at 15. I didn't expect him to be that low. I didn't even realize that he was that low for us. He faces Arizona. The reason I ranked him so low is because I'm worried about Jameis. If Jameis is coming back this week, Jameis hates Alvin Kamara. Or if it's Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill probably doesn't like to check it down either. Taysom Hill just steals his touches. If it is Andy Dalton, I will move Alvin Kamara back up around 9, 8. But if it is either of those two, I'll keep him where I'm at. And plus, they have Chris Olave coming back this week.
The absolute horse, my fantasy team, Breece Hall is our RB4 this week. He's been an absolute tear recently. He's so good. He's completely taken the job from Michael Carter, as it should be. Michael Carter realistically shouldn't be playing any snaps. He's a complete dog. They play at Denver, which is not the best matchup, but it doesn't matter. You're playing Breece Hall regardless. Complete dog.
I think we are higher on Breece Hall than any other place I've ever seen. I have him at my RB4. You have him at RB5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd bump him up maybe even another spot if it's PPR because he loves to catch passes. Kareem Hunt comes in at RB28 for us. He is on the bench for me this week. I think you have him maybe as one of those upper tier handcuffs. Kareem Hunt's not going to be a sexy starter for you if Nick Chubb's there. And he faces Baltimore. Like you said, it's an all right matchup, but he's right there on that. He's probably falling into the 30s and not on this video if there's no bye weeks.
Yeah. J-Rob slowly losing the job to Travis Etienne. You watch the games, Etienne just looks like the better player. So you can't fault the Jags for giving him the ball more. He is our RB26. They played the Giants at home. The Jaguars have been pretty good this week, kind of coming back to earth a little bit. And it's not ideal that Travis Etienne is just slowly taking that job. So this might be one of the last weeks you can play him as your flex and maybe look to trade him away.
Yep. Josh Jacobs, someone who we completely missed on this offseason, finds RB13. I'm at 15. You have him at 11. He faces Houston, so that's a cake matchup. Has looked like a different player. And that's the main reason we missed on him. It wasn't a question if he's going to get the volume or, the yard or the volume. The offense is okay, but he has just looked good. And, he's scoring touchdowns, getting big yardage, getting a crap ton of carries. So if you have Josh Jacobs, Is he maybe still high right now?
I think so.
I mean, I don't see him keeping up this RB2, RB1 thing, but I mean, we also said we didn't think that there was a chance, he had that this offseason. So,
Yeah, Raheem Mostert finds the back end of our RB2 tier. Here's our RB20. He's kind of taken that backfield by storm. Last week there was Myles Gaskin. This week there was no Myles Gaskin. Chase Edmonds came back into the fold a little bit. It does not matter. Raheem Mostert is their guy. Tua coming back should only help Raheem Mostert with more opportunities to score. They've got a so-so matchup at home against Pittsburgh. Hopefully Raheem can keep his momentum going.
yep, he gets good volume. So Derrick Henry comes in after Brees Hall. He's our RB6. You have him at 4. I have him at 6. He faces Indianapolis, so a decent matchup. But Derrick Henry's going to get 20 carries for 100 yards, probably a touchdown.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce in competition with Brees Hall for Offensive Rookie of the Year. They got to be the front runners. Both of them have been absolutely electric this year. He plays at the Raiders this week. He comes in as our RB9, finds the RB1 tier, sliding in right above DeAndre Swift. Struggling there.
Yeah,
have you drafted him? Whether you reached for him or waited for him to fall, you're super happy that you have him. Set it, forget it. He should produce again.
Yep, Kenneth Walker comes in at 14 for us, right above Alvin Kamara. I have him at 11. You have him at 15. I love Kenneth Walker. I know you're not as high on him as a player, but he is getting fed. We were scared maybe DJ Dallas gets some. DJ Dallas did not get some. It looked like the all Kenneth Walker show. And he actually looked good in the touches he was getting too.
Finally.
So I think he is an RB2 this week. I think he has potential to come up there with Dameon Pierce and Brees Hall for RB1 contention later this season.
Agreed. Tyler Allgeier finds he's on the bench this week. He has been the quote unquote lead back for Atlanta, but there's no running back when Cordarrelle's out that you want to be playing. He's on this list just because he's our number 30 running back. Stay away. You should have better options this week.
Yep. AJ Dillon is one of those upper tier flex this week. He just, I don't know why he's getting the ball more than Aaron Jones is. Yeah, it's an Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon owner. There's a clear difference in the talent there. I don't understand it, but he continues getting the ball, so he'll continue to make this list.
Tony Pollard is our RB27. He is a low-end flex for me. They've got a great matchup against Detroit, but I see a lot of Zeke in this game.
Zeke looked really good.
He finally did. And
really, that was the best I've seen Zeke look in a couple of years.
Yeah. And
he looked like he had bursts and everything.
Yeah. And against Detroit, you can run the ball very easily. I see Zeke absolutely pounding him. Dak coming back. The men will lean more on him. Hopefully Pollard can get a little bit of, piece of that pie as well.
Yeah, we've been dogging on Zeke on this little weekly thing, but we can't do that after last week. Mm-hmm. Jeff Wilson is our RB18. I'm at 17. You have him at 19. He got put in the doghouse last week. Still played 50% of snaps, but they were not confident in giving him the ball after he fumbled. I don't see that continuing. They didn't really play any running back above Jeff Wilson. It was just Debo and Kyle Juszczyk. So he slots in our RB18, lower tier RB2 play this week.
Travis Etienne, high end flex for me, slowly creeping towards the RB2. You want to see him find the end zone, and he's been getting looks, but just hasn't converted yet. That will come. They've got a decent matchup against the Giants, and he's taking that job from J-Rob. I think you can be confident playing this week. I like to see him find the end zone this week.
Yep, our unanimous number 1 running back this week, Saquon Barkley, facing Jacksonville. There's not much to say about Saquon Barkley this week. Just he's set it and forget it. RB1 for the rest of the season if he keeps this up.
Another set it and forget it RB1 this week is Joe Mixon. They've got a great matchup against Atlanta at home. Jamar Chase got right. Should take some attention away from Mixon and allow Mixon just keep on doing his thing. He gets so much volume. You're setting it for getting it every single week, and you're happy with how he's doing.
Yep, J.K. Dobbins is our RB21 this week. I'm going to put him at the top of the flex. Faces Cleveland. I'm scared about J.K. Dobbins, to be honest with you. He has Gus Edwards coming back. Kenyon Drake looked like a guy. He did get hurt. He or what was it? Knee tightness?
Yeah. It's because they're playing on turf.
Is that not a little concerning to you?
Absolutely.
Off of a torn ACL? I mean,
yeah.
That's got to be a little worrisome. I maybe think they should hold him out this week, but if he plays, he's our top of the flex. This is not the J.K. Dobbins you drafted, though. I mean, once you drafted him, you thought maybe week 2, week 3, he'll come in, slowly get it in, and then by week 6, he'll play 80% of the snaps, and he's not even out there for like 30 or 40.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Leonard
frustrating.
Fournette is our RB12 this week. They play at Carolina, a dysfunctional team at the moment. Hopefully, Leonard Fournette can get going. Tom Brady hasn't looked good, so I expect him to lean heavily on Lenny this week.
Yep, we just talked about Zeke, how he looked good. He is at the top of the flex. Facing Detroit, we don't want to throw him in the RB2 category just yet. We want to see one of those weeks again, and he always has Tony Pollard back there. But Dak loves Zeke. Maybe he gets him involved in the passing game. So Zeke is a upper tier flex play this week.
My GOAT, Brian Robinson, comes in at RB29 for us this week. Had a nice little game, found the end zone. He is on the ascension towards the RB1 tier soon enough. But for now, I would probably leave him on the bench. You've probably got some better options, but I wouldn't mind playing him as a flex this week.
Yep, I do not agree. I think I have him at like RB 30 or 42 or 37, somewhere like that.
You have him at 34. I have him at 25.
I am not a fan of Brian Robinson, the player. I think they force-fed him the ball last week. I don't agree with it. As I say that, I just got an alert that said cut ties with Antonio Gibson, ? So Christian McCaffrey is our RB5 this week. I have him at 2. You have him at 8. I'm sure that is just because they're facing Tampa Bay.
Yep.
I could see him getting 5 carries this week and still be in like RB2 or 3. Like just
I don't see it.
12, 14 catches. They're going to force Christian McCaffrey the ball somehow. And I think he is too good to get bottled up by this Tampa Bay defense, who Najee had like an okay day last week.
Yeah, I think that was a bit of a fluke. David Montgomery is our RB19 on the week at New England. Not the best matchup. New England's defense has looked great, and Chicago's offense has looked horrific. Hopefully, Justin Fields gets sacked less than 10 times this game so that David Montgomery can keep having opportunities to carry the ball and keep Khalil Herbert on the sidelines.
Yep, Jonathan Taylor is back. He is our RB2 this week. Not much to say. He faces Tennessee. Hopefully it's the Jonathan Taylor, that we saw week 1 or last season.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, Spencer touched on it, kind of a weird situation. Hopefully he gets the ball more. Aaron Rodgers came out and said that they need to. And last time he said that about Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb had a massive game. So hopefully this is a Aaron Jones week.
I just don't see it. I mean, they just do not get Aaron Jones the ball. And I told you yesterday, I think Matt LaFleur needs to be fired.
Wow.
Najee Harris is our RB17 right after Aaron Jones. Like we said, he looked good against Tampa Bay. I think it was more of a fluke also. He hasn't looked good all season besides that Tampa Bay game. He did say that he had a plate or something removed from his foot and that he was finally back right before that game. He said he had some kind of surgery or something done in the offseason, and he just got something removed from his foot, and he expects to be more explosive. I think his
don't
day
buy
was I just think his day was like helped by a touchdown. I mean, if he doesn't score that touchdown, we're talking about drop Najee Harris. But that is going to be it. Make sure you follow us at the FF Fanatics 3 on Twitter, the FFFanatics.com. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, ask questions on Twitter. Anything you want to add, Nathan?
If you like our content, share it with a friend. Be on the lookout for our wide receiver videos coming tomorrow, which would be Thursday, game day. Hope you guys enjoy.